All right, hey guys, what's up? So we are welcome to today's webinar. Before we get started, I want to know if you guys can hear me. So if you can hear me, simply type one in the comment box, right? Simply type one in the comment box, or simply type let's go in the comment box, and then let's proceed. Okay. Hmm. Oh, oh, good. All right, all right, awesome. Nice one, guys. All right, so I'm going to be going into details. Let's just hang out for like, let's say 30 more seconds for more people to join us, and then we can begin, right? That'll be awesome. Okay. All right. Let's begin. All right, guys. So on today's webinar, we're going to be learning basically the difference between this 100K Naira note I have here in my hand, right? This stack of Naira notes, and this single $100 bill. Basically, I mean, obviously, you know the difference, but when it comes to terms of earning, especially online, not a lot of people actually know the difference. And that's one of the things we're actually going to be going through on today's webinar. Okay, so before we get started, I'd like to clear up a few things. Now, number one, if you think this is a get rich quick scheme, right? It's something that you come in and tomorrow you've made millions and the rest of that, then this webinar is not for you, or perish that mindset. This is not a get rich quick scheme, and if you're looking for miracle money, then you're better else spending your time elsewhere. Okay, so feel free to like exit the webinar right now or exit this presentation right now. Now, number two, if you don't have data, this presentation is approximately going to take us about an hour plus. So basically, by 9 p.m. we should be done, right? But if you don't have data, or you're someone that's going to start complaining, oh, data, blah 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 blah, again, feel free to exit the webinar right now. Okay. Now, lastly, at the end of today's webinar, after I've taught you guys everything about freelancing and how you can get started, I'm going to present you guys an offer. Now, this offer is not for everyone. For those who want to take advantage of the offer, awesome. For those who won't take advantage of the offer, that's fine too. Okay? So on that note, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen now. And if you can see my screen, I simply want you to type in the chat box, let's go. Just simply type let's go, and then we can get started. Okay? Shared my screen. And if you can see my screen in the chat box, simply type let's go and let's get started. All right. Okay, so I'll be awesome. All right. So once again, guys, you're welcome to today's webinar. Now, on today's webinar, we're going to be learning the 2023 recession proof formula. This is a particular formula I came up with via freelancing, and it has helped not just me, but thousands of my students actually make a killing selling high income skills like graphic design, copywriting, and the rest of that, to international companies in the USA, in the United Kingdom, New Zealand, and the rest of that. Okay, so on that note, let's continue now. Today, you're going to be learning an unorthodox method for making 1.4 million naira, which is basically $2,000 every month in 2023 and beyond. Now, this might not be every month, and obviously, if you start today, you might not get your first 2,000 naira, even if it's next month. But basically, if it's too much for you to grasp, let's say you earn $1,000 every single month, that's still basically 745,000 naira at current exchange rate, right? And you can do this simply. The same work or job or this thing you're going to and working for Nigerian companies where you have to enter traffic and go and come back feeling drained and the rest of that is something you do simply from your laptop or from your mobile phone right here in Nigeria, as long as you're at, right? And you get paid, let's say $500, $1,000. And that's way more than what a Nigerian job would pay you, right? And it takes you way less time to actually achieve this. Okay? Now, it doesn't matter which government is going to be in power or how the election results turn out, whether they decide to keep Agbado in the seat or Peter Obi gets its mandates. It doesn't matter which government is going to be. Your future is going to be in your own control. Basically, your earning power will continue to be in your own control because you won't be earning from the Nigerian economy, and neither will you be earning in naira. And you'll get to learn how to do all of this using the special dollar income formula, right? I know it sounds sophisticated. No worry, no worry. Let's continue, okay? That I and my students utilize to make thousands of dollars while staying in Nigeria in this economy. So it doesn't matter if dollar says, if the worst comes to worst, APC wants to kill all of us, or and dollar goes to 1,100 to per naira, right? Your income is going to keep growing. I mean, think about it. As of early last year, that was 2022, naira to dollar exchange was about 500 or maybe 550. If you're earning $1,000, then you're probably making about 550K. Someone who is making 550K in Nigeria would think you put on the same level, and at the end of the year, you are still earning the same $1,000, or you're making 750,000 or even more, and the person is still making 550K. Your salary basically increased, or your earnings basically increased, because you are earning in dollars and not in naira. Okay. So this is a screenshot of my profile. This is what in right. You can see it's over 16,000 US dollars earned on Upwork, right? And you can see my address here, Calabar, Nigeria. I earned this while I was still living in Nigeria, basically, before I even started switching between Nigeria and living in Dubai. Basically, this is what I earned, okay? And here some of my students, the Millennial Nanobase, is like, hey, Walter, $20,000 milestone hits, right? And you can see it here, Millennial, direct response copywriter, right? And you can ask for $20 per hour, and that's earned over 20,000 US dollars. Now, I'm just showing you this proof and testimonial so you understand what we're going to go into today is actually something that works. It has worked for me, it has worked for my students, and I believe that it can work for a good number of serious people who are actually here on today's webinar. Okay? Now, who is this for? Listen closely. This presentation is for you if you are fed up with the current situation of things in Nigeria and you want to do better financially so you can help yourself and also help your loved ones. This presentation is also for you if you work a 9-to-5 job, maybe you work yourself tirelessly and yet you're underappreciated or you are underpaid and you actually want to do more and do better. Lastly, this presentation is for you if you're a young person anywhere in the world worried about the future and what it has in store for you. Or maybe you're a housewife who doesn't have anything that you're doing and you're looking for a way to earn legitimately online. Okay? If this is you, or if you fall under any of these criteria, then simply sit back. I want you to get rid of all distractions. If you find good network, or go and stay in that part of your house that has good network. If you're around your gen or your generator where there is noise, find less distractions, sit back, and let's get started. Okay. Now, I want you to imagine not having to worry about money and be able to afford at least most of the things that you actually want, right? Imagine being able to afford your house rent. If you want a new phone, you get a new phone. If you want to afford your children's school fees, you want to afford school fees, you're able to afford it. If you want to afford hospital bills and other things, you're also able to afford it because you have money in storage, right? Simply because of this business model that I'm about to show to you. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you how you can get started with this business model and get paid every single week or maybe every single month, right? It's either weekly because foreign companies pay either weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Depending on your payment schedule, then doesn't really matter. If you're earning $400 per week, it might seem like small money, but that's basically this thing, $1,600 at the end of the month, and that's over 1 million naira, basically, right? But before I get started, let me introduce myself. So my name is Walter Naira. I am a top-rated plus freelance copywriter. I am an 8-figure freelancer in Naira. I am a mentor to over 3,000 plus students that have collectively made over $2.5 million in the past 1 year with my teachings. And I'm also what I like to call a client acquisition expert, which is basically I'm good at getting companies to actually work with me. Okay? So just in case number 3 confuses you, 3,000 students is a lot. And if, let's say, like one of you basically starts freelancing today and you are getting at least $1,000 every single month, between now and the end of the year, you've made over $9,000. So multiply that across 3,000 students and you get to see how massively most of my students are successful. Okay. Now, before I became any of these things, before I even started doing freelancing proper and selling it to international companies, I was actually a student, and not just a student. I had to drop out because of school fees, right? I couldn't to pay my school fees. I had to drop out and move to a mud house. This was back in 2018. You can see me right here. You can see my face. I was very lean. God of Sapa wanted to strangle me. You can see my clavicle and the rest of that. I was working with low-paying Nigerian clients. I was being underpaid and I was a struggling copywriter. Now, around 2018, I'd learned about freelancing and I started doing it, right? But things got worse for me because I was working with Nigerian clients. You can see Nigerian clients, I want to pay you 1 naira per word. So if you write a 1,000 words, they're going to pay you 1,000 naira. That's nonsense, right? I was working basically for 2 clients and I was managing their Facebook, managing their Twitter, managing their Instagram, and basically replying their message, designing their graphics, and the rest of that. And I was getting paid 10,000 naira a month. So basically, I was making 20,000 naira a month. Like, network, you see, this is what I need to do and go back. I beg, I don't tire. You guys, Nigeria network won't kill me. So let's just continue. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again and let's pick up the pace. So if you can see my screen, simply just type 2 and let's continue. Okay. All right. So where I stopped, I was talking about how I started freelancing and where I started freelancing from, right? Basically. And this is basically this picture I was taking the day I moved out of the mud house when I was packing out. Right? Mm, what is this again? Mm, come on, man. Now it's Google Docs that's affecting me. So I think we're back live. This has pissed me off, man. It's pissed me off. All right, let's continue. Cool. So I'm just going to share my screen. Yes, my network is bad. Basically, I have Airtel, MTN, Google 5D, and it's still giving me issues. Right? Maybe it's because rain fell today. So let's just work up with this. Right? So where was I? Where was I? I believe you guys can see my screen. So if you can see my screen, simply type 2. And let's be on our way and continue. Right? Cool. So you basically, where did I stop? I was talking about how I started freelancing and how I was working with Nigerian clients before I actually got to this, right? And this picture was taken from the model house that I was actually moving out. Now, once I learned how to freelance properly and land high-paying clients who paid me in dollars, I was still struggling. Now, the main impact in what I'm going to be showing you today comes from you earning in dollars, right? I mean, it's not something difficult, right? It's you have your phone, you have your laptop, you have whatever it is that you're actually using to earn, right? And that and if you're doing the same work it is you are doing, I don't care what it is you're doing at your workplace, basically. But instead, if you're doing that same work, the work that you're getting paid, let's say 100K a month or 200K a month, or even 300,000 naira per month here in Nigeria, that seems like one kind of large, huge sum of money to get paid monthly. It's basically less than $500 every single month, right? And like I said at the beginning, when I showed you this Naira notes in my hand, I was like, I'm holding 100,000 Naira here right now. So if you look into the camera, you can see it, right? This is 100,000 Naira. I said, if you have someone holding 100,000 Naira and you have someone holding $100, which of these do you think would be easier to get from a baby? Let's say the person is clueless, the person has no idea the value of this. Now, the person who wants to hold on to this that just fool my hand, you can say, oh, the 100,000 Naira just fool my hand, right? Compared to this. But basically, this one is just 100,000 naira, and this one single note right here, the dollar notes, it's basically what's today's exchange rate? Let's just say about 775,000 naira, right? So two of these notes, basically, it's more than 100 pieces of this note I have here. Okay, that's like this thing. And once I learned that, I was able to afford the lifestyle, work my own hours, and get to meet people of high importance. And I've made over 150,000 US dollars while I was staying in Nigeria within the past 5 years freelancing. Okay. And this is me in my apartment in Dubai, in front of my apartment. So in front of the Dubai Skyview Hotel. This was me in the elevator of my apartment and the rest of that, right? So this was in front of the Museum of the Future. And with my mentor, Mr. Ronald Nzumura. Some of you might know him, some of you might not know him. He's a top Nigerian marketer, right? And this was one of the payments I got from my jobs, right? 4.2 million naira. It came in, it was basically $6,500 for a project, right? And the project took me about a month to complete. I got paid 4.2. That's a lot of this. And now I'm not saying you're going to get this immediately. Please discard that thought. But like I already said, this is not a get rich quick scheme. But I'm showing you the earning possibility of where you can be within the next, let's say, a year, 2 years, right? Give or take, basically, from a single project. Okay. Now, if you'd like to be able to do stuff like this and afford the things that you want without stress, I want you to simply type 0 limits in the comment section and let's continue, right? Cool. Now, the best part of all of this is that this transformation has not just happened for me, but for my students also, right? So here's one of my students like, hi, Walter, I hit $5,000 today. And I was like, let's go. I'm so proud, right? And I'm great. This is a screenshot of the person's Upwork profile, right? And let's take Timileyin. Timileyin went from this. Hi, this was the beginning. Hi, Walter. Please send me the free. Please send me the free now. Teach me how to get high-paying foreign clients as a freelancer in Nigeria. Right? He went from this to this. This right. So like, hi, Walter. I hit the 20,000 naira milestone. So within the space of a year, Timileyin went. This is 16 September 2021, and this message came in 2nd of August 2022. That's less than a year. Timileyin made over 20,000 US dollars while being a complete newbie that knew nothing about freelancing or much more even copywriting, right? Cool. In less than a year. Now, remember what I said in the beginning. Okay, so yeah, just some more testimonials from Israel Obasa. It's like, with the tips you gave me recently, I finally achieved this. And you can see here, over $800 for a single gig. And if you calculate that at today's exchange rates, it might be a small amount, but when you convert it to Naira, that's basically 600,000 Naira, right? And this is from one of my students, Aneti F. Young. It's like, that's true, but so I started freelancing and even joined your $0 to $2,000 channel as a graphic designer, but nothing happened, even after applying everything. And blah, 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 blah. He told me he took the course, he then took the course of social media marketing and applied the same principles, and boom, he got his first gig at $1,000, right? And he still brought them results. For he works less than 10 minutes every single day. So I'm just showing you guys these testimonials to further emphasize on the weight of what you're going to learn, because I don't know, Sumi brought you guys here, and if it was me that brought you guys here, you would understand that I'm not really a friendly person, right? So I don't know whatever idea it is you have or whatever it is that you think you're actually here to study, but I need people who are actually serious and are willing to pay attention, right? So far so good. A lot of you are doing well. So this is the last testimonial, like from Samuel Kokomos, like this is just a random appreciation message. You could have kept your knowledge to yourself and not share it with us. Your selflessness is changing my life. I owe you on that testimonial video coming up this month. And you probably see Samuel's testimonial at the end of this. Now, to make this even better, this is not a one-off type of thing. Just because you're going to get paid, or you get paid $500, $1,000, $2,000 does not mean you won't get paid more and make more above that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that this works. It has worked for me and thousands of my students, and I believe that it can work for you too. Now, the question is, would you want to go through all I went through, start from a mud house, all the suffer I suffered, that within the last 5 years, I've only managed to make over 200,000 US dollars? Or would you choose the simpler, faster, and more straightforward method, like my students, Timile, the others who have made over $20,000 within their first year freelancing? If you want the simpler, faster method, I would like you to respond with a firm yes in the chat box if you are with me. Okay? Awesome. Now, quick notice again, I already mentioned this. This is not a get rich quick scheme. Okay? Okay. Now, with all of that said, I want us to actually get started. Now, the first thing you're actually going to learn is what is freelancing and how does freelancing work. Freelancing is basically you offering services to multiple clients, right? You know how someone has a regular job and they're working with a particular company. A freelancer doesn't work with a particular company. He works with multiple companies, right? Now, this is not a must, but I'm giving you an example. So let's say the mechanic you have in your house, the person that comes to fix your gen if your gen goes bad and the rest of that, he's a freelancer, but your mechanic is not making that much money. Now, the person that's paying is just not making that much money because number one, he's serving the Nigerian market. Number two, he doesn't really have so much of a high income skill, or he doesn't know his value or the value of his high income skill, right? So that's that. He's a freelancer. So you're going to be working with multiple foreign companies, and it's not a must. You can work with just one foreign company, and they can be paying you maybe $1,000 every single month, and that's fine. But that's basically what freelancing is and how freelancing works, right? So, but in our case here, what we're going to do is we're not going to work with Nigerian clients. So you can be a copywriter. I write for a living, right? You can either be a copywriter or you can be a graphics designer. You can be a UI UX designer. You could be designing websites or building websites, or you could be a technical writer or content writer, or a social media manager like my student Annette F. Young that makes about $1,000 every single month, right? These are what we call high income skills that actually get you started with freelancing, right? And if you are selling to Nigerian clients, you won't be able to charge them much, right? I had a project where I was the full-time marketing manager for a company, right, as they were launching. And that's where I got paid $6,500 for, right? If I tell a Nigerian company now, say I'm going to manage everything, I would come up with their ads, come up with their marketing campaign, come up with their strategy, come up with every single thing that their target audience. I'm going to know how they're going to build their brand and the rest of that. And I tell them that they're going to pay me, let's say 1.5 million naira for it. They will shout, Jesus, because it seems like a lot of money if you're in Nigeria. But if you take it to a foreign company where their economy is not just only better, but they can get you paid better, it's way easier. I mean, it's much easier to even get paid $500 than it is to get a job that will pay you $300. Okay, cool. So now that you know and understand what freelancing is and how it works, let's move on to the 4 secret fail-proof steps that will make you a massively successful freelancer. Okay, now step 1, getting a high income skill. Please bring out your notes because this is actually very important. So you want to get a high income skill. So you might ask, Walter, what is a high income skill? A high income skill is simply a skill that can get you paid thousands of dollars, but not just thousands of dollars. It also has high demand. Now, these 2 things are so important. In fact, they are one of the most important things you're going to be learning from me today for obvious reasons. If you have a skill, I mean, almost anything, if you sell it to the foreign markets, you can make a lot of money from it. Person that services AC in Nigeria, let's say the guy that does that repairs my AC or something. I don't think I've ever paid him more than 10,000 naira, let's say for refilling of gas or something like that, right? When I'm in Nigeria. But if it's outside the country, you're seeing them charging $250, $500 because the economy is booming, right? Not just, and you're not going to be just doing anyhow outside the country. Don't go and start saying you want to work for Pakistanis or you want to work for Indians. Those are basically third world countries too, and you don't want to do that, right? Because it's like basically entering from like from boiling water to frying pan, or this or frying pan to fire, basically. So you want to make sure that these are first world countries, and a few of the countries I mentioned already: the United States of America, the United Kingdom, New Zealand, Australia, Singapore, right? These are like first world countries that people who are there can actually afford to pay you good amounts of money. United Arab Emirates. Okay, so like I said, you want to get a high income skill. Now, an example of a high income skill could be copywriting, which is what I do, technical writing, UI UX design, social media marketing, where you get to handle a company's social media handles, right? Digital marketing, right? And there's so much, right? But like I said, you want to make sure that it fits these two criteria, which is can get you paid thousands of dollars and can also has high demand and also has high demand. Because if you have a skill that can get you paid thousands of dollars but doesn't have high demand, you can find out that you work like it takes you a whole lot of a longer time for you to get your first job, right? It takes you a whole lot of a longer time for you to actually get your first job, and you don't want that. You want speed, because anything in this life that is worthwhile is worth doing fast, right? So if you have a skill that also has high demand but cannot get you paid thousands of dollars, you can find out that every single day of the month you're busy, you're doing work, you're doing jobs, right? You're fulfilling stuffs, and at the end of the month you look into your bank account and you made only about $300 or $400. Whereas if you have a high company that fits these two criteria, one single job could be paying you $800, $1,000, $2,000, and way more than that. Okay, so that's step one. You want to make sure you get a high income skill, right? Now, the importance of this is that you get more demand for this high income skill, and the more money you can make. And since these are in high demand, it will be faster and easier or simpler for you to see progress and success. And thus, the harder it becomes for you to fail because you've gotten this. I know people who are into freelancing and who are on Fiverr and the rest of that, but they're only closing $50 jobs and the rest because they don't know some of the key things I'm actually sharing with you yet, or they don't even really have a high income skill, right? Like me, when I first started, I was doing resume building. I'd be writing resumes for these guys, and it was not so much of a high income skill compared to copywriting that I'm actually doing, right? Cool. Now, step two, you want to position yourself on platforms that you can be seen by foreign businesses and individuals, right? It makes no sense if you are the best writer in the world and nobody knows that you can do this, or it's only Nigerians that know you can do this, right? You want to put yourself out there where people in first world countries can actually get to see you. And the beauty of the whole thing, and what makes modern day so much easier than it was even like 10 years ago, 2013 or even 2010, is that from just your phone, right? It can be from your phone, it can be from your laptop. You can actually get to access these platforms where foreign clients or people in first world countries can come and see you. Now, there are two main methods you can do this. You can do this either via social media platforms or freelance platforms. Now, example of a freelance platform is basically Upwork, right? So let me go on my Upwork profile and pop it up here, right? Okay. Let's see, force reload. So this is Upwork now, basically. Now this is where you can find clients that can hire you as a freelancer in Nigeria. This is a freelance platform, right? There's Upwork, there's Fiverr, there's freelancer.com. But me, I highly recommend Upwork because number one, Fiverr. I don't really like Fiverr for number one. I don't like it for the gross amount of low-paying jobs on Fiverr. That's a downside. And Fiverr blocks your accounts. You can just wake up my money and they block your account because you're from Nigeria and you have to start again. So you don't want those kind of things. You want to use a platform like Upwork. I already showed you my Upwork profile at the beginning of this presentation where I made over $16,000, right? And let's go to my profile so I can show you guys something. Okay. Okay. So give it a minute, let it load. Seems like network is bad this night for whatever reason, right? So you can see it's Walter Eninaya, Dubai United Arab Emirates, right? Sales letter copywriter, blah 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 blah. Over $10,000 plus. That's over six. In fact, that's over $17,000 basically. With just 12 total jobs, 604 hours, right? So this is basically Upwork, and I can show you some jobs I've done here, right? This is code email copywriting, right? Code email copywriter, writing emails for these clients, and this single job that I just did within only a month paid me $1,175,000, right? And you can see some other small jobs there that have actually paid me huge amounts of money, just $250, $300, $13,000, and the rest of that. So I'm going to show you that, right? Now, when you get on platforms like this, you are going to choose whatever it is you are going to do, whatever high income skill it is you're offering. You don't want to offer much, you want to offer only one. Let's say you're a copywriter like me. If you go on your job feed, you're going to see jobs like this. Need high converting book funnel builds, right? And this person is from the United States, so that's a very good sign because people from the United States are willing to pay you more because the economy is just that buoyant, right? Like need high converting book funnel, willing to pay you $20 per hour to $45 per hour, right? For this job. So let's say this entire job takes you 20 hours to finish and you do it at the lowest possible price. That's 20 times 20. That's $400. Now, 20 hours is basically like 3 days if you're really working hard. In fact, it can be 2 days if you're really working hard, but let's just say 3 days if you're a lazy person, right? So 400 times 750 current exchange rate, that's about 300,000 naira for a job that takes you approximately less than a week to actually get completed, right? And you can see tons and tons of that as we scroll through that, right? We write website copy, $75. That's not much, but that's still good. This client has spent over $20,000 hiring people, and it's also located in the United States, right? So you can see this pro SEO content creator for crypto tag flood, and person wants to pay you $1,000 for this job for a simple project. You're going to get paid $1,000 at today's exchange rate. That's over 750,000 there, right? Corporate better than I am. That's a nice one. Like $40 to $75 per hour for this simple job, right? And we can go into this. If we want to apply to it now, we simply click on it. We read the job description, right? And the person on average hires for nothing less than $20 per hour. For this particular job, he wants to hire you for either $40 to $75 per hour. I don't know if you're getting what I'm talking about here, but basically, even if you're getting this at the lowest possible amount the person wants to work with you, and you're working only 20 hours a week, or even 10 hours a week, you're already making about $400 to $800 every single week, basically. And that's when you convert it to Naira, that's the huge amount of money. That's about 300,000 Naira. That's about this thing, 20,000 Naira plus every single week, right? So this is a freelance platform like Upwork. Now, the next way that you can actually position yourself on these freelance platforms is on social media platforms, right? So it's on social media platforms like either Twitter, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Now, my most preferred social media platform for getting high-paying clients that will pay you good amount of money, all right, is on LinkedIn, right? So you on LinkedIn, you simply go this thing. What's in the column? On LinkedIn, you can it's simply a platform where professionals are. So you can simply reach out to CEOs in these first world countries and get them to work with you. Okay. Now the importance of this is that you get to get paid strictly in dollars. You get high-paying jobs faster, and you have less competition if done properly. Okay. Now this is where the real money is. Now a question for you: how does one separate themselves from other freelancers offering the same services? Because obviously, if you get started today, or let's say you're already a freelancer who is doing UI UX design or any of those kind of things, right? You can tell that, oh fuck man. So obviously you can tell that you're not the only one who is a UI UX design, or I'm not the only one who is a copywriter, or you're not going to be the only one who's into digital marketing, right? You want to understand that. Now, how do you separate yourself from the others and get paid more than them while doing less work than what they are doing? Which this brings us to step 3, which is create compelling offers. So creating a compelling offer is basically what will help clients choose you over others. Let me give you an example. So I'll take a name for me. I'm going to take a name. I'm saying Idris, right? So let's say Idris is a graphics designer, and me, Walter, I'm also a graphic designer. Now, Idris goes out there and say, I'm a graphic designer. I'll design your graphics. I'll design your flyers. I'll design whatever it is you want me to design, right? And for sure, since he has a high income skill, that can also getting paid lots of money, also has high demand. People come to work with him. At the end of the month, Idris makes about $600. Not bad, especially if I live in Nigeria. I don't care. I feel like $600 would directly impact your finances if you're living in Nigeria, except you're already making about $3 million plus a month. And even then, to still directly impact because it's Nigeria, basically. Right? Now, that's a good amount of money. But on my own end, I create a compelling offer. Instead of working with everyone, I create an offer and say, I'm a graphic designer that work with clothing brands or people who sell clothes, basically, on Instagram and help them design their page and post to get them more engagements, and in return that helps them make more sales for whatever the clothes it is that they're selling. Right now, I can simply decide to charge each client I work with in the clothing industry $500 to $1,000. On one end, Idris can do about 10 jobs, 15 jobs, 20 jobs to get to $600 per month. I just need to do 3 jobs to get to $1,500 per month, and I get to do these jobs less because I'm basically copying and pasting or basically repeating the same thing I've done for other companies, or some with slightly just editing it and making it different and doing the work, right? So that's what creating a compelling offer actually does for you. It helps you basically stand out from the crowd and get paid way more for it. So now the importance of this section is you get to separate yourself from the competition. You get to set your own prices, and you also get to get paid more. Very important, because if you are doing what everyone else is doing, you're going to get paid the same as everyone. Like, freelancing is nothing new, and there are tons of people who are doing freelancing in Nigeria. That your neighbor that you might be saying he's always inside, you think he's doing Yahoo, he might be doing freelancing. People who have relocated outside country and they've gotten jobs from simply pressing their phone or laptop from here, because these companies can actually sponsor your visa and migrate you. They are doing freelancing. But a large number, or let's say about 80% of people, don't get paid a really good amount of money compared to others. Okay? So far, we've covered what freelancing is and how you can get started, where to find foreign clients and companies that will pay you in dollars, how to position yourself as a Nigerian freelancer to attract international clients, the 4 free proof steps needed to become a Nigerian freelancer earning in dollars, and lots more. And now you are wondering, how do I get started? Now, quick question. If I offer to show you how to get high paying freelance clients consistently and give you a high in demand skill that can get you paid thousands of dollars and also has high demand to get you started to make at least $1,000 monthly, what would your answer be? Well, I already know your answer is going to be yes. And with that being said, I would like to invite you to the High Paid Freelancer Premium Program. Now, to help you decide if this is for you, here is what you get as a new member today. And also, before we dive in, remember what I said at the end of this presentation, there's going to be an offer. Now, I know there are a lot of unserious people here, and I know there are a lot of serious people here. Whichever category you fall under, it's your concern. It's basically, you get to make the decision by yourself. Okay? So on that note, let's continue, guys. So what do you get when you get to the High Paid Freelancer Premium Program today? First thing you're going to learn is section number 1, the beginner-friendly Upwork mastery course that is going to take you from $0 to $6,000 in at least 4 months or 5 months or 6 months, depending on how much or how hard you work. Right? If you're a beginner, you might not actually get to $6,000 in 4 months, but at least give it like 6 or 8 months. You're still going to get to that, and that's a decent amount of money, because no matter how you try to twist it, even if you're making $500 every single month, you're already making over $300,000 every single month in the current economy. Okay? Now, this next thing you are going to learn is section number 2, the LinkedIn Outbound Client Acquisition Masterclass. How anyone can find and close high-paying clients on LinkedIn without relying on luck. Now, you're going to use Upwork and LinkedIn to actually get these people or get these companies and work with their CEOs that are actually going to pay you for this, right? So the LinkedIn Outbound Client, you're going to learn how to create a LinkedIn profile, how to find foreign companies on LinkedIn, how to find foreign CEOs or decision makers of these companies, which could be the CEO, co-CEO, co-founder, could be the head of accounting, head of digital marketing, so many decision makers. Basically, you get to see it inside the course, right? And I'm going to learn that. Now, section number 3 of this course, you're going to learn the Facebook client acquisition system, how to find more clients than you ever need on Facebook without you spending a single dime. Right? You're going to learn how to find more clients on Facebook without you spending a single dime. Whether on Upwork or LinkedIn or this thing, it takes 0%. It costs 0 to actually start up, right? Cool. But so far you have the beginner friendly Upwork Mastery course, what over 100,000 there. You're not going to be paying that. The LinkedIn Client Outbound Acquisition Masterclass, what over 150,000 there. You're not going to be paying that. The Facebook Client Acquisition System, what over 100,000 there. You're still not going to be paying that. Now, obviously, you might have questions, and that's fine. The next 10 to 10 minutes, you should be done, and you can ask the questions to be live. Okay, but that's not all. I wanted to make this really simple for beginners and those who don't have a digital skill yet. So when you get into the high-paid first-time payment program today, you're also going to get skills, not just any type of skills, but high-income skills. And if you remember what I said high-income skills are, and you want to make sure you fit in that criteria of whatever skill it is you're choosing, which is can get you paid thousands of dollars and has high demand in the market. If your skill doesn't fit these two criteria, you're going to find your progress a lot more difficult. Okay, so the first high-income skill you're going to get is high-income skill number one, the Kick-Ass copywriting course. How to write copy as a beginner that will get you more sales, clients, and money than you can ever imagine. Okay? Now, copywriting is what I do. I'm going to be taking you on this. I'm going to teach you how to write emails, video scripts, sales letters, and the rest of that. Our Facebook ads that help you actually help this company sell. And one of my favorite things about copywriting is that it is the highest paying writing skill in the whole wide world, right? I don't see another writing skill where someone will pay me $6,500 for a single job. If you know anyone, simply tell me, right? So this is one of my students, Keva. She is also a copywriter. Like, I just want to thank you because your course opened the way for me. I've earned over $3,000 plus from January to now. I have a job success score of 93%, and I'm just 19 to be 20 also. Thank you. All right, so that's from Keva. Now, the next high income skill you're going to be getting is this content writing and content marketing crash course. You're going to learn how to create and write simple content that goes viral for businesses, right? So content writing is under good writing skill. And the favorite thing is that all these skills, you can either do them from your phone or from your laptop, right? Now, you're going to learn how to write content that goes viral for businesses, right? Now, this is one of my students who is a content writer. It's like, listen, right? He later sent me the offer on Upwork. We've been using Upwork for payments, but the charges, right? Because Upwork charge you like 10% for any job you do. But it's all good for me. I'm using it to build momentum there. Imagine my first gig on Upwork being $1,000. And by the end of this month, I should be at $2,000 plus. That's enough momentum for me there. And that's awesome, right? I throw it back at you. Imagine if your first job is $1,000. I have tons of students who their first job has been $1,000. That does not mean it's going to be everyone. For some people, their first job is even $50 or $100 or $200 or $500 or even $2,500. I've had one. I think that's one of the highest I've gotten from a newbie as his first job, right? What matters is if you actually take action, follow the step-by-step process, and put in the work, then you should get to see massive results, right? So high-income skill number 3 you're going to get when you get into the high-paid faster payment program today is the full-stack digital marketing course. Right, you're going to learn everything about digital marketing that encompasses, or everything that encompasses about digital marketing. And you're going to use these skills for work for foreign companies. Here is one of my students who is a digital marketer. Was like completed this job yesterday, and truly, what you say about clients that pay on the high side is very true. I don't ever want to work for low-paying clients moving forward. I've seen Shege in their hand, right? Like got on that $600 gig, and I'm supposed to start this weekend. And the job he was completing, he sent me a screenshot here. If you can zoom in, I don't think you can, but basically, I think if I remember correctly, it's around 600. So it was 3 weeks. This guy has made 1,200. If that was at today's exchange rate, that would be 900,000 naira, guys. So you see how would I call it simple? I won't call it simple because, like I said, it's not easy basically. But you see how much leverage it is that this actually provides you. Okay. Number 4, social media marketing school. How anyone can use the power of social media marketing to get clients and build businesses, right? Social media marketing is one of the testimonials I showed you from one of my students, Anthony F. Young, and what he does, right? And it's simply you handling the social media accounts of companies. So your favorite football club, your favorite, even the person, your favorite company or any official business handle you follow, they have someone who is actually handling that page, who is replying to messages, who is coming up with the posts that they're posting and the rest of it. And that's what social media handling is. Now, if you're working for Nigerians, you can be getting paid for maybe 50K, 100K, 70K a month. But if you take that same skill and work for foreign clients, the least you can get paid, say you do bad pass, is $300 per month. And $300 per month is basically 225,000 there. And the best part is you don't have to work for only one client if you're earning that low. You can try to work for 2 or 3 clients and making about $900 per month, right? Now, that's one method. Now, if you don't want to do if you don't want to become a digital marketer or you don't want to become a social media marketer, like I like to say F Young here, right? You can see his testimonials here, right? If you don't want to do any of that, you can then become a UI UX designer, right? So this is the fifth income skill you get, UI/UX design for beginners. So simply, you're going to be learning how to design user interface and user experience from this. Now, I had to onboard 2 creators for this. One is a Nigerian UI UX designer that are actually seeing success and is earning at least $3,500 every single month. And the other is a foreign UI UX designer. I brought both of them. I paid them huge amounts of money to come and create a course for me. And this is added to the high page freelancer premium program. You're going to learn how to design these skills. Now, for UI UX design, you're actually going to need a laptop because it is one of the more technical skills, right? Now, here's one of my students, Philip Wadolaja, right? He's a UI UX designer. It's like, I work with a Berlin firm now. They pay me $40,000 per annum. That's per year. And they pay monthly. So that's around $3,000 plus. I've done the math for this a good number of times, and that's $3,333 every single month. And that's at today's exchange rate. When you first started getting this was about 1.8 million. But today's exchange rate, this is basically 2 million. Yeah, this is 2,499,750 naira, basically, every single month. And the best part is that this company, the earlier company he dropped the offer from, were offering to process his visa to come and stay with them. The company that is based in Portugal. But he decided he didn't want to do it because the salary was too small. I didn't want to go there and go and start suffering. I decided to take the one with the $3,000 per month while living in Nigeria. I mean, if you're making 2 million naira every single month as a young guy, you've not married. Even if you're a family man, you're going to be balling, basically. Right? Now, the last but not the least high income skill you're going to get is the technical writing course. So technical writing is simply you breaking down complicated stuff for people, right? Especially when it comes to the crypto industry or in the engineering industry, you break down these complicated terms into simpler terms for consumers to actually consume and understand, right? So that's what I'm going to learn in technical writing course. So here's one of my students that does technical writing. And you can see he posted this on his status like, Mbam, you received an offer. This is from Upwork, right? Review consultant for your fixed price, VPN expert writer, VPN testing and review blog. Bid what he got this job for was $1,000. Now, obviously, Upwork will take their percent and is going to be getting paid about $850, but that's still a huge amount of money, right? Now, with this knowledge at your fingertips, you can now become a modern day money making freelance machine. But wait, there is still more. If you get into the High Pay Faster Premium program today, I'm going to add some extra bonuses for you. And these special bonuses, I like to call them the no failure bonus, right? The no failure bonus number one you're going to get is full access to our support group or the members area. So you can ask questions either to my assistants or me or to elder students who have been there since the beginning of the creation of the course, and have companions on your journey, basically fellow freelancers who are actually doing the same thing you're doing. I cannot emphasize or overemphasize how important that is because that actually makes your work a whole lot easier. Now, no failure bonus number 2 you're going to get is a short video and PDF on how to get your first clients in 2 weeks or less. Now, this particular bonus is if maybe you have a skill already and you are good at that skill and you want to just speed up your client acquisition process, which is because if nobody is hiring, you're not making money. Basically, you're basically just having a skill and the skill is just there if nobody's paying you for it, right? So this particular no failure bonus number 2 tackles that objection. Now, no failure bonus number 3 is access to periodic meetings and masterminds to help you find your feet faster, right? So you're going to be access. So basically, we hold live classes at least 2 times every single month, and you're going to get access to the ones we've held previously and the ones we're going to hold in the future. Basically, this is going to help you find your feet faster. Now, no failure bonus resource number 4 you're going to get is the closer secrets, how to close more deals by asking the right questions. And this is a very, very important one. And shallow, or will I say, 80% of freelancers who are brokies basically do not know how this works. So let me give you an example. So let's say you're having a headache, or you're having a migraine, or the rest of that. And the first, and you go to meet a doctor. The first doctor you meet says, "We are going to have to operate on you. You are going to have to open your skull." They're going to be alarmed. They're going to run away because you don't want them to open your score just like that, right? Now, the second doctor you go to asks you the right questions. He says, yo, when did this headache start? Did you fall down before this headache started? Or did you just wake up from sleep? Or where side of your head are you feeling the headache? Is it on the right side? Is it on the left side? Blah, 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 blah. All kind of things, right? At the end, he also comes to the conclusion that they're going to have to operate on your head. And even if the second doctor charges, let's say, even more, you're going to be more comfortable working with the second person than the first person, than the second doctor and the first doctor, because the doctor asked the right questions and helped you see him as an expert to actually work with the person. Okay? So no failure bonus number 5 is the $0 to $2,000 challenge, right? You're going to learn, you're basically going to get access to this challenge I created. This was created in 2021, by the way, that should to take you from 0 to at least 2,000 every single month, right? It's to set you on the path to you earning $2,000 consistently every single month. Now, I don't like to mention millions because, as you can see, Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. And I think I showcased 100,000 naira a year, and somebody was like, "You have 100,000 naira." What is 100,000 naira? 100,000 naira will not even process visa to some countries. So what exactly is this bullshit, right? Right? So I don't like to mention millions, but that's the reality of life. Whether you can imagine yourself earning it or you cannot imagine yourself earning it, people are earning it basically. So if you're earning $2,000 every single month, that's, if you times today's exchange rates, that's 1.5 billion naira every single month. That would do you a significant amount of good while living in Nigeria. It's not like in Dubai where my house rent is $3,000 every single month, right? It's not any of those ones. It's in Nigeria. Where do you want to pay? Your house rent a year might not even be up to that amount, right? Cool. Now, no failure bonus number 6 you're going to get is 3 payment methods for you to receive your money in Nigeria. Now, this is very important because if you mess around and receive your money at CBN exchange rate, you will cry. Your $1,000 will come in at 460,000 naira. Whereas if you use the black market exchange rate or use better exchange platforms, you are going to receive your money at least 750,000 or 720,000 naira, or bad as a bad pass, 700,000 naira. That's almost a 300,000 naira difference if you use a wrong exchange rate, and you don't want that, right? Now, no failure bonus number 7 is free 1-year membership to the High Paid Freelancers Academy. I'm going to give you a free 1-year membership to the High Paid Freelancer Academy, where you can also get certifications for each and every one of these courses that you take. And you can use that to add to your profile and get jobs. So here's how, there's just a default copy of how the certificate is going to look like, and you can actually print yours out when you are done. Okay, so let's proceed. So as you can see, I've created everything you need to take your first step on the freelancer's path to making at least $1,000 per project, without you needing much experience, without you needing a degree, without you needing to wait for years at a Nigerian job, without you being the most gifted in your industry, and most importantly, without you relying on luck. I'm not a pastor. I'm not going to tell you you're going to that money is going to come and meet you in your house. It's not. You have to work hard for money if you want money to come and meet you in your house. You have to make sacrifices. You have to work on your mindset. You have to calibrate yourself, basically. It's not an easy thing if you want to move out of it, or if you want to earn more than you're actually earning. It actually takes deliberate action and conscious action. Okay? So please note that all of these materials are in video, PDF, and recording formats. Now, how much does it cost to enroll for the High Paid Freelancer Premium program? In a minute, I'll tell you, but first I want you to look at these. So here's one. Timileyin Onanibe is like, luckily, the client retained me. I've been milking him. He's like, let's go, coming to Dubai soon, right? And you can see the job he did here. Within 1 week, he earned over $1,110. And his total earnings, yes, since start of working with just one company, is $8,502. Now, this is one part some people tend to get confused because, sure, freelancing means you can work with more clients. But if you're anyone who is sensible, you realize that you don't want to work with 3 or 4 people. At max, you want to work with at least 2 people, or let's say 3 people max, right? And the way you do this is by, number 1, doing a good job. Number 2, having a high income skill, right? And charging a good amount of money and knowing where to find these companies that you can charge a good amount of money for this. One single company can be paying you $2,000 every single month. And that's a fucking good amount of money. If you're living in Nigeria or any other country in Africa, basically, right? So here's on that one. It's like, good day, Sir Walter. It would be ungrateful for me not to share my wins for 2022. and it was all thanks to your help and coaching. I worked with just 2 clients last year, one which paid me $340, and the other which retained me and paid me over $9,000. To think that I entered 2022 really broke. I'm really grateful to God for your help. Thanks for everything. Hope to do more in 2023. Please crop out my name if you want to post this, right? So this is one of my students, and one single client has paid him over $9,000. And there are tons of this kind of scenario, right? Here's another one from Israel Basa. It's like, hi Walter, Upwork is doing great. I landed a $1,250 job from a client I worked with recently. The client has already first paid $350 and will pay the remaining. I also got a new job from him. Okay, the first job he worked with the client was $350. That's what he said here. And then he got a new job from him. What's 350, right? 2023 is a great year. It is. This was sent to me on January, basically, this year, right? And here is on that one. This guy is a newbie. He's like, hi, Mr. Walter. Just thought a gig outside Upwork, and I've done and dusted, and they've paid me. So he showed me a screenshot of the earning, $2,500. This is my first gig, and this is actually one of my favorite testimonials because this is actually one of the largest amounts that a newbie on my program has actually earned. Usually, I'm expecting newbies to earn at least maybe $300 or $500 for their first job, but this really blew my mind, right? So there are lots of data, and if you continue going through this, we're just going to continue going through testimonials today. So I want you to be honest to yourself. How much do you think it is worth for someone to show you how to land jobs like this, even if you have no skill? Now remember, here is all you are going to be getting. The beginner-friendly Upwork Mastery course, whatever 100,000 there, you're not going to pay that. The LinkedIn Outbound Client Acquisition Masterclass, what's over 150,000 naira. The Facebook Client Acquisition System, what's over 100,000 naira. The Kick-Ass Copywriting course, the Content Writing and Content Marketing Crash course, the Full Stack Digital Marketing course, the Social Media Marketing School, the UI UX Design for Beginners, the free bonus, no failure bonus number 1, full access to our support group and members area. No failure bonus number 2, how to get your first clients in 2 weeks or less. No failure bonus number 3, lifetime access to periodic meetings and mastermind. No failure bonus number 4, closer secrets and how to close more deals by asking the right questions. No failure bonus number 5, the $0 to $2,000 challenge. No failure bonus number 6, the 1-year membership to the HPF Academy, plus our high income skills or any other high income skill that I'm actually going to get. I'm going to add in the future, right? This brings total to over 990,000 naira, but obviously you're not going to pay that. I mean, this is Nigeria. How many people can actually afford that amount of money, right? So on average, if you're in the foreign markets, it won't cost you less than $200 to learn one of these skills listed here. Now, imagine if you want to learn 3, you're going to have to pay over $600, but you're not going to be paying any amount of that, right? You won't even be paying $200 for everything. In fact, you'll be paying less, and you're still going to get everything mentioned here. Now, the regular price to get into the high paid faster perming program is 50,000 naira, right? And you can see it right here. Someone who was buying 1 unit of it, 50,000 naira, right? And for those of you who are right here on the webinar, about 200 plus of you, I'm going to give you a very special deal within the next 24 hours. And a particular friendly bonus for the first 10 people to take advantage of this. Ouch, right? You get to pay only 36,500 naira within today and within the next 48 hours, which is basically today and tomorrow, right? Or tomorrow and next tomorrow. Basically, today is what? Tuesday. So by Thursday, after Thursday, the price goes back to 50,000 naira. For the first 10 people, I'm going to give you a very special bonus, which is access to the Freelance for Smartphone course. So how do you make payments? Well, it's quite simple. And you're still going to get everything mentioned here. You simply click on the link in the next slide, or you reach out to the person who brought you here. So I'm going to pin this particular link for those of you who want to get in now, right? And be among the first 10 people or who want to take advantage of this that are going to pay 36,500, right? You simply reach out to Sumi, the person that brought you here. Don't go and meet any other person that might bring you a link in the DM or any of that. Right, so where the fuck is this? Let me stick this link in the distance, right? All right, awesome. Cool. So let's round this up and I'll then get to answer questions. Now, when you are done, send the screenshots of your payments and send your email to Sumi. and she will forward your email to me, and I will give you access to the bonus for the first 10 people. Okay. Now, one more thing. Here's some more testimonials from my students this morning. Now, I just peeped at the comment section and I saw one person being stupid and said, I want to use it for my next listing. Now, you paying for a course, and this person here, Udzwe Kudofia, who tweeted it live on Twitter, is like, my mentor, Walter Inaya, told me that there's zero limits to what I can achieve. And you can see a job he got here, $3,000. How does that correlate? I understand that not everyone is smart, but please don't embarrass yourself in public, right? So the next one is Anthony is like, hey Walter, how is it going? I just signed a contract with a marketing agency for $200, $250 per month. That's not much, but that's decent, right? To work with an email account, to work as an email account manager and write code emails for them. So this is like his first job, right? For writing emails. And even though it's not much, it's still about that should be about close to 200,000 every single month, right? So here's another one. Peter is like, hey Walter, remember this? They don't hire me, sha. $2,000 per month. And you can see the acceptance email from the company here. It's like, we have good news about your application. Hi Peter, I'm thrilled to officially ask you to join the team as a web designer for Black Ink and Tech, right? And tons and tons and tons of this, right? This is F Young, the same social media manager who does social media managing, and he got a gig of $2,600, and he was like, the client wants to make payments or wants to make half payment now. Now he was DMing me because he did not want to actually go and receive his money in at the CBN exchange rates, which is actually very, very important. Okay, and it's like, I got 4 job offers and 6 offers from LinkedIn in the last 2 weeks. Thank you, coach. Or like Frances, who went from this, right? She asked me a question and asked me for advice on 1st of October 2021. To this, basically, it's like, hey Walter, how are you? Just wanted to let you know I got the top rated badge last month. So I was like, congratulations, how much earned now? It's like, boss care, right? Blah 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 blah. Basically, she has earned over $8,000 on Upwork and over $3,000 outside Upwork within less than a year. I mean, if it's basically $11,000, even if it's in 12 months, it's still a good amount of money because you're making almost $1,000 every single month, and you're making no less than 500K every single month, right? So let's talk about frequently asked questions, and then you can ask me your questions on the comment section, and I'll answer them, right? So the first one is, can I do this with my phone? Answer to that question is yes. Now, this depends on the skill you want to do. If you want to do UI UX design, obviously you're going to need a laptop for it. Now, when is this program starting? Or at least started already. This is an online program that will always be available to you as long as this page is up, and you get access to it anytime you join. If you join now, I am among the first 10 people who actually make the payments. You get paid 36,500, and you get my exclusive bonus, right? If you join later, you get to pay 50,000 naira, and that's still fine. Whichever way you decide, it's still like a cheat. Like basically, it's still a fraction of the amount you're actually going to earn because the knowledge is basically yours to keep forever. Now, what if I have a job or I'm a business student? Can I do this on the side? On the side, and the answer is yes. But you want to find a way to dedicate at least 2 to 3 hours every single day for this. Okay. Now, what if I don't have a digital skill? That's not a problem, as there are currently 6 high-income skills in the high-pay Flutter Permanent program course. Now, you simply pick one skill and utilize it and learn how to get clients, maybe on Upwork or Facebook or LinkedIn, and you are good to go. Okay. You pick one of the skills that appeals most to you. Or maybe you have a phone, you don't have a laptop, you pick a writing skill that you can do from your phone, right? And move forward with it. Ouch. So it's like, am I going to pay for anything else? And the answer is no, absolutely not. Upon payment, you won't be asked to pay for anything else. And neither will you need to, as this requires no startup cost, right? How long till I get my first client and start making money? Now, I've shown you some of my new students who have gotten jobs from $1,000, $500, $250 for their first job, right? And they did it pretty quickly. And I can easily tell you that you can do this in 2 weeks or less. And I have tons of proof to back that up. But here's the thing. Not everyone is going to get their first clients that fast. For some of you, or for some people, it might take up to a month or more. And the only thing I can guarantee you is this. If you focus on doing the work, you're not a lazy person. You say you want to make money, you make the sacrifice, right? And you do the work. It's not much work. Like you're still working less than 99% of Nigerians right now, right? And implement ruthlessly and patiently what I've shown you. You're going to get clients upwards of $1,000 per project or per job sooner, much sooner than you probably expect, right? So how long are you going to have access to this program and everything else that is given to you? What to sign up today? You're going to get access to it for a lifetime. are going to have lifetime access to this. Okay. Now, how long is it going to take me to go through the program and start implementing? Now, this depends on your hunger for success. And like I said, you don't have to learn all the high income skills. It's not even you don't have to. You're not going to learn all the high income skills, basically. You pick one high income skill, whether it's copywriting, social media marketing, digital marketing, or UI UX design, learn it, and then go to the client acquisition aspect of the program, which involves getting clients, and you're good to go. Right? Do I need to go through every section of the program before I get my first clients or before I start making money? No, you don't need to do that. I just explained that previously, right? Now, with the price of this program increase anytime soon, 100% yes. If you're among you, I already give you guys a discount for those of you right here, and rest of you, well, good luck. Right? So hopefully I've been able to answer all your questions with this, right? And before we end this session, here's some advice for you. Well, I feel like I've given enough advice already on this webinar. So if you have any question, simply send them to the question and answer session and you listen, right? Okay. The cost of the program is 36,500 naira was the discount for those who attended the webinar, right? So within today and within the next 48 hours, basically, once 48 hours pass, then the price goes back to the normal price, which is 50,000 naira. Now, for the first 10 people, which I know I'm going to get, they're going to get an exclusive bonus personally from me. So simply reach out to the person who brought you this webinar, which is me, right? Reach out to her, tell her that you want to get this, and she'll send you a link, or use the link that is pinned here to get the program, right? And send her your email once you've made payment. She's going to forward the email to me, and I will grant you access to that special bonus for the first 10 people. Okay? Questions. So someone says, how can I create a CV with just being a secondary school graduate? Well, it's not necessary to create a CV. What you need more importantly is a portfolio. A portfolio, whether you're a secondary school graduate or not, does not really matter, because you're not going to even be using what it is you're studying in school to actually get access to these things, right? Or get jobs from these clients. You're going to be using your high income skills, which I explained at the beginning of this. Okay. So you said, sir, I'm interested. If I buy the course now, can I still have access to the course later because I'm busy with something now? Yes, the course is available for a lifetime, so you're always going to get access to it. However, the price is not going to be at 36,500 naira for a lifetime, so please take notes. Okay? So questions. Someone says, would I have to use my phone for graphics design? Yeah, you can use your phone for graphics design. But if you want to be a top level graphic designer, I suggest you get a laptop, right? One of the easiest skills you can do from your phone is either social media marketing or copywriting, technical writing, or any of those ones. Those are way better. All right? No, you cannot. Even if you've already been trained already, right? Because how do I know what skill sets do you even have, self? Ouch. So, guys, questions, and we have about I'll take questions for like 2 or 3 more minutes, and then we're good to go. For the first 10 people, you get access to my exclusive bonus. Simply reach out to the person who brought you to this webinar, who sent you the link to join this webinar, which is me, right? And you should be good to go. Questions. This is actually a live class. Of course, it's a live class. What makes you think it's not a live class? Can someone pay bit by bit? Unfortunately, no. But you can discuss with Sumi. If she decides to help you out, that's fine. It's not within my listen. Me, I'm just here to teach you, and I've done my own part. The rest is up to you. If you want to be my students, you know what to do. And if you feel like, or let me just play you one of my students' testimonials, right? Because there are tons of it. I didn't want to even start talking about testimonials too much before it would be a physics testimonial. I came to start teaching you people, right? So let me find. Just be dropping your questions and I will answer them in a few minutes. Let me find that testimonial. Okay, that should not be here. I think I'll stop sharing my screen for this so I can actually find it easier. Okay, so that should be. Where is it? Auto. Oh, let me just use this. Let me use YouTube. Cool. Right. Where is it? 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 Home. Oh, come on, man. So, give me a minute. Let me just play this for you. All right. I think I found it. So, there are tons of that, and I believe some will share some more with you for those of you who are actually interested in getting the program. For the roamers or the people who are time hoppers who don't know what they are here for, I don't know what to say. So, for the video, paste.
Hi, I'm Samuel, and if you're watching this, you're probably considering buying one of Walter's courses. You probably have your doubts. You're wondering if it's worth your time, effort, or money. Probably because you've bought a course or two before and they just were not worth your time and they just weren't worth it. Or you heard a thing or two about online
Oh,
courses
my network.
before
Oh,
that they are just grabbing money from you and you don't see results. Well, I don't know about that, but I can give you an example of myself. I'm a direct response copywriter, and before jumping on the 0 to 2K challenge by
what the
Walter,
hell?
it seemed like a lot. $2,000 seemed like it was just a lot for people to pay me to write. It's only been a couple of weeks, and I've already crossed the $1,000 mark. Now I know it is very possible to reach 2,000 and even more. Walter is going to teach you everything you need to know to get the clients. He's going to teach you about Upwork. He's going to teach you about LinkedIn, sending proposals, the mindset, the pitching, discovery calls. He's going to teach you everything. It now comes down to you to take action now and to continuously take action consistently to see the results that you want. I recommend Walter's courses, 0 to 2K Challenge, iPremium Freelancer, and I believe that you would get the results you want from them.
Mm-hmm. All right, all right. You bring in 5 people without you bringing lots of people, right? You don't have to bring anybody basically. Can I verify my account using United States as my location? I do not advise that because number one, once Upwork or whatever platform you use find out, they'll ban you. Number two, once you start getting these deals of 2,000, 3,000 and above, they are going to want to like hold a team meeting, right? And when they're holding a team meeting and they find out you're in a different location or you don't look like the person that is in your profile picture and the rest of that, they're going to sack you. So if you're thinking long term, then you want to use your name and your profile and your distance to actually go through it. I use my name and my picture to actually do it, and I'm earning a lot. My students use their name from what I teach and their picture, and they're earning a lot. So people should always dead this narrative that if you're in Nigeria, you won't get really good jobs. Okay. 14 days or less. I'm going to have lifetime access to it. You have lifetime access to the course, Dockers. It's okay. Mm. And Yola says, I'm currently learning UI UX design. That would be a decision to make. The main issue is if you're coming later, you're going to have to pay 50,000 naira as compared to getting 36,500 naira. And we already have a UI UX design course, two actually, in the higher preparing program. So I don't know, that can also help supplement with whatever it is you're learning currently, right? Mm, there is no last price. I've already given you guys. You don't price courses like it's tomatoes. Please don't annoy me. Okay, so I think we have answered all questions. If I've not answered the questions, please resend it again right now so I can round up. Okay. Mm. Yes, if you're busy with something now, you can still have access to the course later after you make the purchase. It's yours to have forever, basically. Right? So that's to answer Juwon's question. Awesome, 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 awesome. Mm. All right, Peter, just reach out to Sumi who brought you to this webinar. You should be good to go. Okay. So I feel like that's all. Now, one of the reasons I do this, and I'm not seeing any other question. So yeah, just some advice. So one of the reasons I do this is already, obviously, you're going to pay me money for a course. So that's like a good source of extra income, right? And if that annoys you, don't buy my course. It's not for you. And you're not going to make a lot of money. You're not going to succeed. But the other reason is to understand people, is for people to understand that there are so much ways that you can actually make a good living while living in Nigeria, making multiple millions every single month. I mean, millions is just $2,000 basically, right? That's 1.5 million naira. Without you doing fraud, without you sacrificing yourself, without you doing so much work or stressing yourself and trying to kill yourself on top work, basically. So that's one of the major knowledge I like spreading out to people who are there. So if this has directly impacted you, I'm glad you participated in this webinar. For those of you who will be among the first 10, I've already seen some people right here, and I will send them access later. Right? So that should be all. Right? Someone says, let me just answer a few more questions. Do I need to open a dollar account in Nigeria, or is there an alternative to that? You don't need to open a dollar account. You can either use maybe Payday or HQ or any of these fintech platforms. You can also open a dollar account in Nigeria if that's what you want. But there are so many ways to receive your payments, right? Is the cost for just getting managing clients on Upwork? No, it's not. So when you go through the page again, you're going to see it, okay? But that's how you end up broke. You also have to think, yo, do I have a laptop? If I have a laptop, I can say, okay, I want to do UI UX design. But if I don't have a laptop, then what I can do is simply a writing skill, a skill I can do from my phone that's very easy. So you have to consider those things too. Okay? So that should be all, right? Oh, sorry about that, guys on YouTube. I just got to see you guys now. Someone says, I'm a professional graphic designer, I'm underpaid. We can start earning in 3 weeks. This is not magic, please. Labos, don't buy my course. This is not magic. Which one is can you start earning in 3 weeks? I'm not saying you can't, but coming in with that mindset is already a red flag to me. So please don't. Okay. There's no graphics design course in the high paid Flutter Premium program. There is no instrumental payment. Blah 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 blah. I think that should be all. Okay, so guys, awesome webinar, awesome presentation. Glad, nice having all of you here. For those of you taking action, congrats and welcome. I hope to actually be part of your journey to making thousands of dollars online. For those who will be making payments, at least I hope you learned something from this webinar. Okay, so on that note, I'll be ending the presentation now. All right.